Good morning all. This session we will cover different reading options. We have multiple alternatives possible to read the file. These alternatives are read method, read line method and read lines method. Using these methods we can read from the file. A whole content will be read at a time, or a line will be read at a time, or multiple lines will be read at a time. So you will see the differences between these three methods. First one, read method. The syntax for this method is given here. As it is the method, it should be called using object. The type of the object is file. So using file object, we will call read method. This read method has two versions. First version that accepts nothing, and second version that accepts value for count argument. See here, the count argument is optional. So file object is the handle to operate the file, and count, it is the argument. It is the number of bytes to be read from the open file. Count parameter is optional. If count is not passed, then it reads entire contents of the file. So this is the difference between two read methods. First read method, which is not accepting anything, and second read method, which is accepting the number of bytes that you want to read, and this number will be passed as the count. We will see this with respect to program. I have already created a file. Its name is filehandling4.py. We will open already existing file. Function is open. Mention the name of the file, info2.txt, and the mode in which you want to open the file. Currently I want to open the file in data. It returns file handle. This file handle is stored in file object. The name of the file object is file obj. So we have completed first task. Open a file. I will comment this. Open file in read mode. Next operation in a sequence is we have to start reading from the file. Inbuilt function read. It accepts nothing. This is the first version of the read. It is the method, so it should be called on file object. So we have completed the call to the read method using file object. I comment this as the first version of read method. That accepts nothing as parameter, as argument. So whatever current content of the file, the whole content will be read, and the read content will be written. You have to capture this content in one string object. So str1 is equal to file obj. Currently the file is open in read mode. The name of the file is info2.txt. Once it is open, the file pointer will point to the beginning of the file. I will show you first the content of the file info2.txt. The content of the file is hello world. Welcome to Python programming. Hope all of you are doing well. Enjoy this session. So when we open the file in read mode, automatically the file pointer will be placed at the start of the file. This is in case of read access mode. Suppose we have opened the same file in append mode, then automatically the file pointer will point to end of the file. And whatever content will be added to the file, it will be added after existing content. We have seen this in last video. Go to the code. We have opened the file in read mode. We have made call to read function using file object. The content read from the file is stored in str1. Now our task is to print this content. We have the function to print the content. The function is print the content of is name of the variable that you want to show. Execute this program using keys control B. Yes, in a console we have the content of a file is. So the content is displayed. The whole content of the file is displayed. So this is the first version of read. Next is second version of the read method. Instead of passing nothing, we'll pass 5, and then we'll see the difference between these two executions. So the difference between previous read call and this read call is that now the first 5 bytes from the file will be read, and these 5 bytes will be stored in str1. It's better that we should comment the previous code. And we have the second version. That accepts count as an argument. Remove the comments. So now we are reading 5 bytes, and previously we have read a complete content of the file. Now observe the output. Execute the program. Control B. The content of the file is hello. 5, because we have read just first 5 bytes from the file. This is the difference between these two versions of read. Read with nothing and read with some value for the argument count. Next method we are using for read purpose, read line. It reads a single line at a time. Whenever the end of the file has been reached, readLine function returns empty string. And whenever a new line is encountered in the file, whenever blank line is encountered in the file, it returns a new line character. So it reads a single line at a time. There are two cases. If blank line is encountered, it returns a new line character, and if end of file is encountered, it returns empty string. We will move to the program and see the differences. Read last. Instead of displaying message the content of file is, we will say first line is again we will read next line and it will be stored in string object. Again we will repeat next line and it will be stored in third object. Whenever we read the first line, the control will be automatically set to the next line automatically. Whenever we read the second line, the control, that is file pointer, will be set to third line automatically. Whenever read line completes, the control will be shifted to new line automatically. Print the content of these three lines. So we have read first line, second line, and third line. We will make one comment here. Read first line, second line, and third line, and print these three lines respectively. We have finished reading three lines and we have printed